Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome back to the channel here on YouTube.com. And yes, I am back after weeks away. It has been a long time since my last upload. I believe it was January 25th where I uploaded the Lightning Flash update and a rant on Charlotte complaining about a fan complaint that's non-existent. So, why am I back? Why am I back? Simple. I couldn't stay away. I just couldn't. I just could not stay away. I got a lot of things going on, and I got a lot of uploads to do over the course of the next few months, especially this month. We got 3 pay-per-views this month. We obviously got TakeOver Portland on Sunday. It is Wednesday. We got Dynamite tonight, as well as NXT, the final NXT before TakeOver Portland as well. I'm actually recording this on Saturday. It is not airing live, but it is premiering live. So here's what I want you guys to do. Here's what I want you guys to do. If you haven't already done so, I want you to hit that thumbs up. We're going to see if we can get this video to about 15 thumbs up. Of course, I want you to be active as you can be in the live chat. I also want you to leave a comment down below. If you missed the premiere, obviously, you can go back and rewatch it. I also want you to hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And I want you to hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Few things before we actually get into the festivities here on the Rundown. This is, of course, the rundown for NXT TakeOver Portland, which, of course, is streaming live on the WWE Network this Sunday, February 16th, with the pre-show starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Probably going to get a pre-show match announced the day of. That's usually what WWE does, but we have 6 matches to go over. Couple of things. Yeah, I'm off of Twitter, obviously. You know, the hypersensitive pussies of the wrestling community just couldn't handle me. I'm just too much. I am just too damn much. I'm too truthful. I'm too real for everyone. I don't care. I don't even care. You know why? Because I'm still going to do this. I am still going to promote my brand. I'm still going to grow. I'm still going to hit 2,000 subscribers in spite of all of you fucking losers. In spite of all you trolls, in spite of all of you lowlives, I'm still going to succeed, and I'm still going to throw it right back in your face. So, my social media is from here on out. I'll probably be back on Twitter like in a few months. But right now, I have to focus on what's important. I got to focus on my college career. I have to focus on taxation, intermediate accounting, corporate finance. I actually have an online program I have to start for corporate finance. Of course, that is obviously going to take over my life for the next 4 months until May 13th at least. Obviously, then I'll have finals, and then I'll be free. I'll be free for about 4 months. And the summer, it is going to be the summer of storms. Once again, the summer of storms. Follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. Friend me on Facebook as well. Both links are in the description. I also have a DJ Storms business page on Facebook. Look that up. Be sure to like that page. I'll be creating a DJ Storms fan group as well on Facebook. So if you want to join me, hit me up on Facebook or hit me up on Instagram and we could talk about that. Also, I do have plans to make a Periscope and possibly leave Periscope for the Thunderscope live streams. Yes, I know you've been missing them. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, you bastards. I know you've been missing the Thunderscope live streams. Haven't done one since August on the Man of Infamy Twitter account before that one got suspended. I didn't do anything, by the way. Twitter just has me marked. But I will be possibly creating a Periscope for the Thunderscope live streams. Me and Thunder, we got a lot of good shit. We got a lot of good shit planned. Next week, actually, I am planning on getting back into the Lightning Flash update as well. More likely than not, next week is going to be an upload for the Lightning Flash update. And then 2 weeks after that, we are going to be joined here on the channel by the Keyboard Warrior. The Keyboard Warrior IRL, otherwise known as my good friend Peter from California. Shout out to him. I am going to be doing the rundown for Super Showdown or Stupid Showdown, as I call it. Stupid Showdown 2.0. So that is going to be going up on February 26th on a Wednesday, a day before the event. And then, of course, that week is also Revolution. I will also have the rundown for Revolution up for you guys, possibly on Thursday night. I have to get my notes together. I got my notes here for TakeOver Portland. It is definitely going to be a hectic month. This Saturday I am planning on doing a first time ever live edition of the Lightning Flash Update. Obviously, my Lightning Flash Update every week on Saturdays. You guys know what I do. I review 7 shows: Raw, AEW Dark, AEW Dynamite, NXT, NXT UK, SmackDown, and 205 Live. And, of course, I go over all the latest news, rumors, and reports. I do some rants. I do some analyzing. I do everything in between, and we talk about wrestling for 2 hours. Normally, I just upload it, and it's not live. But for the first time ever in the brand's history, I am planning on doing a first time ever live Lightning Flash Update, possibly around 2 p.m. It'll probably go to like maybe 4:30 or 5 p.m. We'll see how it plays out, but regardless, that is definitely in the works. I will keep you guys updated on that. That's going to take place this Saturday on the 15th of February, a day before TakeOver Portland. I'll see what I can do there. I'll see if I'm working that day. If I'm not working that day, you can bet that it's going to be live at 2 p.m. on the channel, and I am going to interact with you guys. You could share the stream out. You can network, talk about wrestling, whatever you guys want. Obviously, that's what we do here on the DJ Storms brand. We are very welcoming to those intelligent wrestling fans, at least out there. But anyway, enough of the brand promoting, enough of the shenanigans. Let's get straight into the matches here for NXT TakeOver Portland. This Sunday, we got 6 matches. Let's start off by talking about Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai in a street fight. This has been building since TakeOver War Games, and on top of that, these two actually faced off on NXT a number of weeks ago, and it was Tegan Nox that got the better of Dakota Kai. It was a nice 5-minute sprint. Candice LeRae came out to help Tegan Nox because Dakota Kai was looking to use a steel chair. Tegan Nox ended up getting the victory with the shiniest wizard, and Tegan Nox got a measure of revenge on Dakota Kai. Now we are here at TakeOver Portland, coming up on Sunday, in a street fight between these two best friends. I expect this to be physical. I expect this to be hard-hitting. I've been loving the storyline that they have been telling with Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. You know, this is NXT. There ain't going to be no negative vibes here with NXT. This is NXT, ladies and gentlemen. So, as far as the outcome goes, if I am booking this, or if I am predicting this, I am predicting this in terms of the NXT Women's Championship title picture. And what do I mean by that? Well, we all know Rhea Ripley's facing off against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. They would not have teased it twice within the same week on 2 separate shows if we were not going to get this match. They wouldn't have teased it twice on 2 separate shows. They did it on Raw and they did it on NXT. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Now, it did get me thinking, if Rhea Ripley is defending the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania, where does that leave the NXT Women's Championship for NXT TakeOver Tampa Bay? Do we have an NXT Women's title match at TakeOver Tampa? If I'm a betting man, I'm going to say yes. You know, even though, you know, TakeOver Tampa more than likely is going to be stacked with 6-7 matches in its own right, I don't think that Triple H is going to leave the NXT Women's Championship title off of TakeOver Tampa, regardless of whether Rhea Ripley's defending it at WrestleMania or not. And realistically speaking, Io Shirai would be the correct woman to face off against Rhea Ripley because that's the biggest women's match that you could do for the TakeOver before WrestleMania, but she is injured, obviously. She'll be back more than likely before TakeOver Tampa, but I don't think you're going to be able to build Io Shirai up enough within 2 weeks. If she comes back 2 weeks before Tampa, I don't think you'll be able to build her up with just 2 shows, and she'll be a believable contender for Charlotte Flair's opponent, Rhea Ripley. And realistically speaking, whoever faces off against Rhea Ripley at TakeOver Tampa, if we do get an NXT Women's title match at TakeOver Tampa, is losing. Because we got Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania more than likely. So if I'm booking this in terms of the NXT Women's Championship title picture, I could see Dakota Kai winning this. I could see Dakota Kai winning this street fight. I can see Dakota Kai right now. She is the best heel in the NXT Women's Division outside of Shayna Baszler. But Shayna Baszler, she isn't really doing much. She is not really doing anything. She hasn't been seen on NXT in a few weeks, actually. So, you have Dakota Kai. You have Dakota Kai. And she gained some momentum before she eventually faced off against Tegan Nox. And Tegan Nox kind of halted her momentum. But more than likely, this is going to be the end of the feud. And Dakota Kai is going to beat Tegan Nox. I could see Dakota Kai winning this, and I could see Dakota Kai building up a little bit more momentum, and I can see Dakota Kai challenging Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Tampa Bay before WrestleMania. And that is going to be Rhea Ripley's interim challenger before she eventually gets to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I mean, it makes sense. Again, I don't see Triple H leaving the NXT Women's Championship off of TakeOver Tampa. So we're going to get Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley at TakeOver Tampa Bay for the NXT Women's Championship. And it does play in to what we saw at War Games and how Dakota Kai not only betrayed Tegan Nox, but she betrayed Rhea Ripley. So we could be looking at a possible NXT Women's title match right there. That would be a rather interesting matchup if I do say so myself. Dakota Kai in this new heel character has been great. Rhea Ripley, she has been on a meteoric rise, and she has undoubtedly become the biggest babyface in the NXT Women's Division. It makes sense. Again, I don't see Triple H leaving the title off of TakeOver Tampa, regardless of whether Rhea Ripley's defending it at WrestleMania or not. So I can definitely see Dakota Kai winning this, and she could be challenging for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Tampa. Moving on, let's talk about the tag team title match. The Broserweights versus the Undisputed Era. NXT tag team titles are on the line here. And I can definitely see this match kicking off the show. Triple H has gone to the NXT tag team title match to always kick off takeovers, unless there's a War Games. I can see this being an absolute tag team classic. You know NXT with tag team wrestling. They always come in clutch, even though the tag team division has been pretty much non-existent as of lately. There's only two other tag teams in the division outside of the Undisputed Era and the Broserweights. The Forgotten Sons, and then we got the team of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, but they're doing stuff over in NXT UK right now. NXT UK actually has a better tag team division than NXT. You know, you take a look at NXT UK, that actually is in contention for perhaps the best tag team division in the world, outside of All Elite Wrestling, obviously. But based on everything that's been going on with the Undisputed Era and the Broserweights, they've been on a meteoric rise. They were put together as a tag team, and I've been loving what the Broserweights have been doing, and it definitely helps both Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, considering they weren't really going anywhere in the upper mid-card to the main event scene in NXT, considering the overabundance of talent that they've had in there. And why not put them together as a tag team and kill two birds with one stone? Why not give them something to do? And on top of that, add to the tag team division. Start rebuilding the tag team division, because the tag team division has pretty much been a back burner for NXT ever since the quote-unquote Wednesday Night Wars started. Now, based on everything that's been going on with the Undisputed Era, with Roderick Strong losing the North American Championship, Imperium beating them, Velveteen Dream getting the better of them on NXT, I think that it's safe to say, I think that the Broserweights are going to win the NXT tag team titles here, and they could go on a reign of dominance into the summer. And with that being said, I think we could be witnessing the last ride of the Undisputed Era in NXT. Realistically speaking, what do they have left to prove? They've been with NXT for almost 3 years. They've done it all. Bobby Fish, 2-time NXT champion. Kyle O'Reilly, the first ever 3-time NXT tag team champion. Roderick Strong, 2-time NXT tag team champion. North American champion. Adam Cole, NXT Superstar of the Year. Had NXT Match of the Year. Triple Crown champion. One of the longest reigning NXT champions to date in the brand's history. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners. They've done it all. Once they eventually lose the rest of their championships, they don't really have much to do. And again, it's a scary thought, the Undisputed Era on the main roster, and we're never going to see the same Undisputed Era on the main roster as we've seen in NXT, but there's literally nothing left for them to do. Sometime between now and Tampa, the Undisputed Era are losing the rest of their championships, and again, we could be witnessing the last ride of the Undisputed Era in NXT, and I think that the Broserweights are going to win the tag team titles here, and we could definitely see the Broserweights go on a tear into the summer. I can definitely see them dropping the titles to the Forgotten Sons in the summertime. The NXT management staff has kind of been pushing and then not pushing and then pushing and then not pushing the Forgotten Sons. It's kind of back and forth with the Forgotten Sons. It's like a seesaw. But I think that the Forgotten Sons' time will eventually come, and I think it's going to come in the summer. Right now, the Forgotten Sons, perhaps the best heel tag team in the NXT tag team division outside of the Undisputed Era. So I could definitely see the Forgotten Sons taking the titles off the Broserweights sometime in the summer, maybe July, maybe in August at TakeOver Boston. We'll definitely see what happens. But as far as this match goes, I could definitely see this match going 20 minutes. I could see this kicking off the show. And I'm going with the Broserweights. I think we're going to see new NXT Tag Team Champions come TakeOver Portland. Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic for the NXT North American Championship. This is perhaps the perfect North American Championship match that they could do for TakeOver Portland, and on top of that, it does tie up some loose ends. These two never actually finished their feud. They never finished their feud. They were interrupted by Roderick Strong, which eventually led to a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship on NXT. So this does tie up loose ends. The series is tied 1-1 with one double countout and a double disqualification. So this is a great way to close the book on the feud between Dominik Dijakovic and Keith Lee. It is rather predictable. Keith Lee is not losing the North American Championship. He is retaining here against Dominik Dijakovic. I do think that this could potentially be match of the night. I am very much looking forward to this match. I cannot wait for this match. Now, Keith Lee is retaining here against Dominik Dijakovic, and it got me thinking. It did get me thinking about what is to come for Keith Lee at TakeOver Tampa. I did mention the Velveteen Dream recently returning from NXT, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be a ripoff Jersey version of Bad News Barrett, if you remember him. But I really don't think this return run for the Velveteen Dream is lasting very long. I really don't. I have a feeling that this return run for the Velveteen Dream is only lasting till Tampa. Now, Velveteen Dream is currently caught up with the Undisputed Era. He's currently caught up with the Undisputed Era. He's currently caught up with Roderick Strong specifically, since Roderick Strong did take the North American Championship from the Velveteen Dream, and the Undisputed Era did help Roderick Strong, so they technically robbed the Velveteen Dream of the North American Championship. I have a feeling that once Velveteen Dream gets done with Roderick Strong, we could get Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong at TakeOver Portland. That could very well be announced tonight on the final NXT episode before TakeOver Portland. You never know. But I can see Velveteen Dream getting done with the Undisputed Era and Roderick Strong, and then Velveteen Dream will go forth and he will challenge Keith Lee for the NXT North American Championship, since he has unfinished business, and he was technically cheated out of the North American Championship back in September when Roderick Strong was aided by the rest of the Undisputed Era in taking the title off of Velveteen Dream to fulfill their golden prophecy. So I can definitely see them doing Keith Lee versus the Velveteen Dream at TakeOver Tampa Bay for the NXT North American Championship. If you want a marquee North American Championship match, you want to load up TakeOver Tampa. It's the TakeOver before WrestleMania. That realistically is their biggest TakeOver. Take a look at what they did at TakeOver New York. Now, if you want a top TakeOver New York, I would definitely put Keith Lee and Velveteen Dream in there. And Velveteen Dream is going to tie up loose ends and try and get back his North American Championship. But I don't think he's going to do it. I think that Keith Lee is going to retain the title against Velveteen Dream at TakeOver Tampa as well. And along with the Undisputed Era, I think we're witnessing the last ride of the Dream in NXT as well. What does he have left to do? He's been with NXT for almost 5 years. He's the longest reigning NXT North American champion to date. The only thing that the Velveteen Dream hasn't done is win the NXT Championship. They could very well keep Velveteen Dream in NXT and have him go after Tommaso Ciampa, but with everything going on in NXT, and again, the overabundance of talent that they have stored in NXT, a lot of talent that's actually waiting for an opportunity and waiting to get on television, people like Bronson Reed, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Joaquin Wilde, people like that. I just don't see Velveteen Dream sticking around, especially considering the fact that they need talent on the main roster. Especially on SmackDown. You're not going to get it done on SmackDown with Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin as a main roster program. You're not going to get it done with Braun Strowman as Intercontinental Champion. You're not going to get it done with the New Day as Tag Team Champions and the Usos constantly fiddling with the New Day. You need some new blood. You need some new talent. Velveteen Dream, the Intercontinental Championship's perfect for the Velveteen Dream. I could see Velveteen Dream winning the Intercontinental Championship by the summer. He could get called up after WrestleMania. He could win the Intercontinental title by the summer. Will they do that? Probably not, because WWE, they don't know how to fucking book NXT talent. Outside of the 3 Shield members, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and Kevin Owens, outside of those 7 individuals, who from NXT has come up to the main roster to have a long, lucrative career with a lot of substance in it? Outside of those 7 individuals, I can't think of anyone. So more than likely, Velveteen Dream and the Undisputed Era are going to follow in the footsteps of Ricochet and Aleister Black and Bo Dallas, Apollo Crews, and Sasha, and Ember, and Asuka, Kairi, Vaudevillains, Enzo and Cass, The Revival, Heavy Machinery. The list goes on and on. I don't want to think that way, but WWE really hasn't given me a choice but to think that way. But as far as the matchup at TakeOver Portland goes, I was kind of getting a little ahead of myself there. I'm going with Keith Lee to retain the title against Dominik Dijakovic in what could be match of the night. Another contender for match of the night is Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor, the dream match that a lot of us never really thought that we needed until now. Now this one is rather unpredictable, but in a good way. Unpredictable, but in a good way. And I say that because we don't really know where this feud is going after this match. And I can't really pick a clear-cut winner. Whoever wins, whether it be Gargano or Balor, does this feud continue to another match at TakeOver Tampa? Do we get Finn Balor or Johnny Gargano possibly challenging for the NXT North American or the NXT Championship? Is Johnny Gargano going to get called up to the main roster should he lose to Finn Balor? I don't really know. It is a big question mark as to what's happening after this match, whether this feud is continuing, and if it doesn't continue, where do Gargano and Balor go after this match? That is just my only concern as far as this match goes. Now, the match itself, I think it's going to be possibly match of the night. I think it could be one of the best matches of the year. If there's any match that can give Jordan Devlin and Tyler Bate a run for their money, it's Gargano and Balor, especially with the new heel persona that Balor has portrayed. He had a great match with Ilya Dragunov at Worlds Collide. He had a great NXT Championship match against Adam Cole on the December 18th episode of NXT. Finn Balor's been doing wonders since this new heel turn back in October. Gargano, what can I say about Gargano? He is Mr. Takeover. Gargano is the face of NXT. There is nobody better in NXT than Johnny Gargano. Is Gargano going to stay in NXT for life? It's a possibility, but I don't know. Again, with the overabundance of talent, what more is there for Johnny Gargano to do in NXT? Gargano definitely is needed on the main roster, but then again, I don't trust WWE to portray him like an actual superstar and like the star that he was in NXT. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. I really don't know what's going to happen following this match. I don't know if the feud's going to continue. I'm going to go with Johnny Gargano. I don't know specifically who's going to win this match. Realistically speaking, the match should have taken place at War Games, but Gargano was injured. Now, if it was taking place at War Games, I would go with Finn Balor. But considering it's taking place now, and Finn Balor has pretty much gained all the momentum in the world, he is immune to a loss. Same thing with Gargano. I just feel as though Gargano could benefit more from this. I just don't know where either man is going after this feud, whether it continues or it doesn't continue after Portland. I'm going to go with Gargano as a bold prediction here. I think this is going to be an excellent match. I expect nothing short of excellent from Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. And I think that Triple H is going to bring his A game. I think they're going to give these guys, let these guys go out there, give you 30 minutes of an absolute classic. And there you go. NXT Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I can see this going on second to last if they want to give the women the spotlight of the co-main event. I can definitely see Charlotte Flair showing up at TakeOver Portland as well, just to try and continue to build this quote-unquote dream match, even though it's not really a dream match in WWE's eyes. They're just using this as a way to draw fans into a false sense of hope, and then they're probably going to give Charlotte the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania just to have her go down to NXT to try and generate ratings every week, because Vince McMahon, his ego is making him make decisions influenced off of the fear of All Elite Wrestling just to try and beat out AEW in the ratings. So you'll put Charlotte Flair on NXT and have her completely bury the entire NXT women's division, and none of those women in the division will get any opportunities at the NXT Women's Championship, will get any opportunities at a run at the title, probably until the end of the year. More likely than not. But this match should definitely be getting a lot more spotlight than it already has, and WWE really has kind of pushed Bianca Belair to the side, and I really hate to say that, especially after her great performance in the Royal Rumble, but they really kind of have pushed Bianca Belair to the side, and I don't like that at all. I do not like that at all. Bianca Belair deserves so much better. Bianca Belair is one of the most underrated competitors that they got in NXT, not just in the women's division, but as a whole. And again, Bianca Belair realistically should have been NXT Women's Champion. She realistically should have been the one to take the title off of Baszler at TakeOver New York. I don't know why they didn't do that, but regardless of that, I can't see Bianca Belair winning this, unfortunately. I can't see Bianca Belair winning this. It wouldn't make sense. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair is WWE's money match for WrestleMania. Again, they teased it twice in the same week on two separate shows. So they wouldn't have teased it twice on two separate shows within the same week if they weren't going to go ahead and put this match on WrestleMania's card. Now, I do want to talk about it briefly. It does have some positives. I do want to talk about it briefly. It does have some positives, don't get me wrong. Rhea Ripley, she definitely does deserve this, especially after she has definitely worked hard for it, and it's a great moment for Rhea Ripley. It's going to give the NXT Women's Championship a lot of spotlight, but at the end of the day, again, like I've already stated before, this is nothing more than a decision influenced off of the fear of All Elite Wrestling. Especially considering that Charlotte Flair was pretty much promised that she was going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania. If she was promised that she was going to win the Royal Rumble, you think that she's going to go in there and put Rhea Ripley over? Unless Rhea Ripley wins this match, then the entire premise and idea behind this match is a waste of time. I don't care how good the match is. I don't care whether it's going to make Rhea Ripley into a star or not. Rhea Ripley's already a star. She's on a meteoric rise, and she has become, again, single-handedly the biggest babyface in the women's division on NXT. Charlotte Flair defeats Rhea Ripley. Where does Rhea Ripley go? Where does Rhea Ripley go, and what happens now? Charlotte Flair goes back down to NXT, and now Charlotte Flair is on NXT. How long does she hold the championship for? Is she going to lose the championship to anyone worthy? You know how Charlotte Flair is. More than likely, Vince McMahon is going to be booking Charlotte Flair's reign as NXT Women's Champion down in NXT. And again, this goes back to what I said earlier. Earlier this year, back on the Lightning Flash update on the day of Worlds Collide, I did say that Triple H has been giving away all these big moments for free on NXT television. We had an NXT Championship match between Finn Balor and Adam Cole. We had Keith Lee winning the North American Championship, the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the Velveteen Dream returning. all of these big moments, these big matches, these big segments taking place on NXT, and he's pretty much forgetting about TakeOver and forgetting about the build towards these big matches. It seems as though Triple H is doing this because he wants to generate ratings on his own to try and beat out AEW, because if he doesn't, then Vince McMahon will eventually take over. And this, I feel as though this was Vince McMahon's final straw, because AEW has been owning NXT. AEW's owned NXT this entire year. This entire year, AEW has owned NXT over and over and over and over again. Vince McMahon probably said, I've had enough. I'm putting Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley on WrestleMania, and I'm putting Charlotte Flair down in NXT as the NXT Women's Champion, so that way we could generate ratings and beat out All Elite Wrestling, because Vince just can't leave well enough alone. Vince can't handle the fact that someone somewhere has as much money as he does. He has, and someone else somewhere has a show on cable television, and they're getting another show on cable television as well sometime. They have a deal extended to 2024, and everyone's talking about them. Vince can't handle the fact that someone somewhere is doing the thing that he's doing better than him. Vince doesn't want any competition whatsoever. Vince is afraid. Vince wants to kill all the competition, and he wants WWE to be the lasting juggernaut, the only wrestling company on a cable-wide network. That's what Vince McMahon does. That's what he does. That's what he wants. And Vince McMahon probably made this decision because Triple H couldn't get the job done. In his eyes, quote-unquote, couldn't get the job done by beating AEW in the ratings consistently. And it sucks because Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley sounds like a WrestleMania match in its own right. Bianca Belair is actually a superior athlete to Charlotte Flair. It sucks. You know, this could very well be the most underrated match of the night. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley to retain, though, because, again, what good is making the match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley official, and, again, teasing it twice in the same week on 2 different shows if you're not going to do it? I'm going with Rhea Ripley to retain here. Main event. And this also has the same unpredictability factor as Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor. It is Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. I really thought that they were going to save this for Tampa. And for all I know, they could very well do this again at Tampa. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is definitely a toss-up because realistically, Adam Cole should realistically lose the title at Tampa. It is definitely a toss-up. I don't know what's going to happen here. We could very well see Tommaso Ciampa get Goldie back. We could very well see Adam Cole retain the NXT Championship. It's a 50-50 shot for either man. And you know what? I'm actually going to go with a bold prediction here. I'm going to go with a bold prediction. I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa. I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa. And I say that because I am making a bold prediction here. Gargano's going to beat Balor. Ciampa is going to beat Adam Cole. And we are going to get the matchup that we should have gotten last year at NXT TakeOver New York. And we're going to get Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Tampa. That is my bold prediction right there. That is my bold prediction. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just thought of that. I have not been pondering that. I just thought of that right now on the spot. Based on everything that's been going on, I can see Johnny Gargano defeating Finn Balor. I can see Tommaso Ciampa defeating Adam Cole, winning the NXT Championship, and I can see Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano at TakeOver Tampa. We get the match that we should have gotten last year at TakeOver New York, but we didn't because Tommaso Ciampa was out with a neck injury. That is my bold prediction. That is my hot take. This could very well be one of the matches of the year, one of the best matches of NXT all year, an early match of the year contender. I could see Adam Cole bringing his A game. I could see Tommaso Ciampa bringing his A game. Tommaso Ciampa has become such a great babyface on NXT since his return. I've been loving Tommaso Ciampa's run, and I can definitely see Tommaso Ciampa winning the NXT Championship here. If he doesn't, I would not be surprised. Again, this is a 50-50 toss-up here between Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa. But regardless, sometime between now and Tampa, Adam Cole is losing the NXT Championship, and we are going to the Undisputed Era move up to the main roster. Unfortunately, it was nice knowing you, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. You guys absolutely mean the world to me. I absolutely would be nothing without you guys. Again, we are on the road to 2K. I got a lot of good stuff planned. Follow me on Instagram, like I said in the beginning of the video, at TheDJStorms, and add me on Facebook. Both links are in the description. I'm planning on making a Periscope and bringing back the Thunderscope live streams. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I also want you guys to like and comment and subscribe. Hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. All that other good stuff. I will keep you guys updated on everything. If you're looking for some business inquiries as well, if you're looking for collaborations and business inquiries, please hit me up with my email. My email is stormstakeover@gmail.com. If you are interested, please let me know. Also, on March 25th, I will be attending AEW Dynamite in the Prudential Center in Newark. So, you guys are going to Dynamite. Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Facebook, email me, let me know if you want to be a part of my vlog. I will be doing a lot of good stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to meet Joey Janela again. I've been talking to Janela recently. He's a very, very cool dude. Shout out to him. On February 26th, on Wednesday, I will be uploading the rundown for Super Showdown, or Stupid Showdown, with the Keyboard Warrior, IRL, a.k.a. my boy Peter from California. Shout out to him. I hope he's doing well. I hope everything's well with the family as well, Pete. I'm definitely looking forward to collaborating with you. I'll be doing a special live edition of the Lightning Flash update, hopefully on Saturday, if things work out correctly. If things work out correctly, if I'm not working, if I don't have anything crazy going on, if I'm all caught up with my college work, I'll be able to do that. And on top of that, I'll keep up to date with the regular uploads with the Lightning Flash update. I'm hopefully looking to get hired back for Rescue Mania. We're going to see how that goes. Shout out to Christopher Ford, a.k.a. Crowbar, and Gunner Trash as well, current North American champion. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. This has been The Rundown. I hope you guys have a great week. Don't work too hard. Enjoy Dynamite and enjoy NXT. You guys keep it real.